Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Motivation with Mommies Teatime. I am your host, Ramika Latash, and this is where we transform, empower, and affirm boss moms and faith-driven women chasing purpose, not to perfection. Today, we're sipping tea with a powerhouse woman whose gift of storytelling is helping authors bring their books and their dreams to life. She's a wife, mother, faith-filled creative, owner of the Right One LLC, a publishing company rooted in passion, purpose, and storytelling. Please help me welcome Sherri Lewis, the amazing founder behind the Right One LLC. Tell the audience a little bit about yourself, Sherri, your family, and what inspired you to start the Right One LLC over a decade ago.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for Mika for having me on again. I'm really excited about this. And I appreciate everyone that's listening in right now and wanting to know more about the right one. So this is actually a relaunch of my business. As you mentioned, I started a decade ago, and it just actually was just like happenstance. My mom decided to write a book, and first of her three books, I should say. And so she said, Sherri, she knew I was good, always good in English and writing, always excelled in those areas in school. And then I love to write. I love to read. So she said, can you just look over the book and just make sure it looks good? And, check the spelling for me. I did spell check on the computer, but I want your eyes on it. And I said, sure, Mom. So I read over it, and I gave her, it was so funny. I gave her a hard but loving critique of her book. And so she, had to make a lot of changes, but she was grateful. She was grateful because it turned out to be a very, very good read, and still is. Still people, still to this day, want to, asking for her book and still ordering it. So it's really good. So that's what kind of got me into, the publishing business. And so I started off from there. Because I have a marketing degree, I said, okay, maybe I'll, do editing, but also incorporate graphic designing. Wasn't really my wheelhouse, graphic designing. So I'll leave that to the graphic designer. I'm creative, but I'm better with words, I should say. So I said, okay. So then I started, some years later, I changed the name to The Right One. And because I figured I believe I'm the right one that can help people bring their words to life, because I take this, I take it seriously, and it's not just a job, but it's also a passion, and it's a purpose. So I rebranded it to the Right One LLC. And, and in the midst of all that, around that time, I was getting married. So that was 2021. And then 2 years later, had a son in 2023. So I was still working with clients, still helping them, edit their books, self-publish their books. And even I had one client who was gracious enough to wait until I had to put things on hold between the marriage and going on maternity leave. And she waited, and her book came out a year later than what was expected, but it was the right timing of it. And she was very grateful. So that's basically what got me into it. Just the love of writing, to help people write and bring their thoughts, their story to life, because somebody or somebody's needs to hear what they have to say.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love how we naturally have gifts that God give us,
Yes,
and He has a funny way of pushing us into our purpose.
he
Who
does.
would have known that He would use your mom to push you into um, the Right One LLC?
Yeah, right.
Just from editing her book. So
Hmm.
I always like laugh at God, like you are so funny because he just finds ways to push you like right into it. And
Yes.
yes, Sherri is not a stranger to this show. She was on this show for the first time in 2023, and she was a newlywed, a first time mom, And she
Mhm.
did talk about a little bit on there how she had to put things on hold because of everything that was happening, but she still had some committed clients who wanted to stay with her, and that's how good she is. If someone was willing to wait
Yes.
for her expertise. So I am excited to have Sherri on the show this morning. I'm excited for what she is doing with the Right One LLC. Um, I was like, I have to have you on here because Sherri is on fire. When you get a chance to follow her on social media, she is posting her videos, her husband, her family. And I'm just like on the outside, like, yes, Sherri, go, 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 just rooting, just rooting. So I had to have her on the show because I know it's someone out there who listens to Let's Talk Motivation, who has a book in them
Mhm.
and they don't know how to get started or what to do. And I just think that Sherri is the perfect person to have on this show to get you motivated and get you ignited and hopefully get ready to get started with her to write that book. So we're not going to hold you long. This show is just to give you a little motivation, to get you through the week, to get you ignited, to transform your mindset, to empower you, and then so you can affirm your dreams. So, our first question, Sherri,
Mhm.
um, your business begins as a web content service, but
Mhm.
shifted as a very personal project, which we just recently talked about
Mhm.
with your mom. Can you take us back to the moment and share how editing your mother's fictional memoir sparked your love for publishing?
It sparked excuse me, it sparked my love for publishing because my mom really, really wanted to get this story told, and it was personal, although it was fictional. It was, some real life experiences mixed in as well. And it was a story from cocoon to butterfly, the book, and it basically branching out, coming forth from, what a cocoon is, and then from cocoon to butterfly just blossoms, comes out of that, is birthed out of that. So I think what I just wanted to do was say that there were so many women out there who, men and women, could read the book, but I think it ministered more so to women because they feel like they're entrapped in something and they need to get out. And how do I get out? How do I go forth like a butterfly and just fly all around and just be free in whatever God is calling me to be or whatever I'm gifted in? And so that's, I said, well, this has got to be out. People have to know about this book. And then at that point, I said, she didn't know how to even publish it, and I at the time didn't know how to do it either. So I'm an analytical person. That's my profession. I am an
Yes.
analyst by day,
Mhm.
HR analyst. So I'm just starting to research and dig into things, and I'm all over the internet. How do we do this? How do we get it published? And I came across Amazon KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing, and it's basically you can self-publish your book, and it tells you all the steps of how doing it. She still, was not able to do it herself. And she said, well, Sherri, can you do it for me? I said, why not? So that's what I said. I have got to form a business from this, because it wasn't just about making money, but it was also about helping people to make money, to share their story, and that it's profitable, not just in monetary terms, but it's also profitable in, spiritually. It's profitable mentally, emotionally for people, because if their story is not as being held back because they don't know how to simply publish it, or they don't know how to get it to a big publishing house to get it out there, then I come along and I say, hey, I'm going to help you get this book out there. We're going to publish it. And that's what I decided to do. I said, your story has to be told. There's no way you should be sitting on your message simply because you don't know how to get it out there to the masses. So, and ever since then, I've just flourishing in the publishing business.
Yes, I love that. If you are out there listening, You
Mhm.
don't have to do it by yourself, and we say this all the time on the show.
Mhm.
It's people like Sherri out there that can help you get started. It's
Mhm.
people like Mommy's Tea Time. Let's talk motivation that can get you started, because that's the key. Is just getting started. Once you
Right.
get started and you're in it, you're gonna do whatever you need to do to complete. But I think the task is just getting started.
Yeah.
And I I love that you have that passion
Mhm.
for that, because a lot of people, this is a niche where a lot of people need, you know,
Mhm.
and they don't know where to get started. So that's why I have you on here.
Yes. 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 So I definitely want to help people. That's what I can do. Help you get started and take
Yes.
it
So,
from there.
and you know that she has a love and a passion for it, and that's important. As she said, it's not so much a monetary. Yes, you do want to get paid for your services, but the love to see the complete project and see how something that you took a part of that
Mhm.
can help and minister to so many people, whether it's
Right.
ministering to them or entertaining them or whatever it is that your book that you have, that you want to get out to the world to listen. Sherri has that passion, and I think that's important, when someone has a passion for it, because it really shows in the work. Many moms listen today are multi passionate, right?
Mhm.
You're a mom, you're a wife, you're a concert lover, and a binge watcher.
Yes.
How do you manage your business and still prioritize family centered lifestyle? Because this is where people get stuck, moms get stuck,
Yes.
because they don't know how to manage family time and their dreams.
hmm You're absolutely right, and it's not always easy. I'm not gonna lie and say I've mastered it, but I've definitely got a better handle on it than maybe since being a new mom a couple years ago. So what I will say is first and foremost, definitely I'm a praying person. I love to pray, so I'm talking to God every day for direction. I also read books, about managing. Being a professional woman and also a wife and a mother. That helps too. There's so many sources out there that we could go to. The main source for me is God, and then outside of that it would also be resources like books. There's blogs to read. I do have a core group of friends, my friends that are wives and mothers and business owners and professionals, and that helps as well. Just within your community, your village, just
Mhm.
tapping into each other, and they also give me guidance and I give them guidance. And when I right before I got married, I was talking to some of them and they said, well, my husband and I, we have a joint calendar. That's very helpful because I love to stay organized. So we started a joint calendar. So anything that we're going to plan to do, we put it on our calendar. We check with each other first. And then also, as far as being a mommy, I do work sometimes from home. And then the times that I'm not at home, my son is with family, they're watching him, or he's at daycare. But that's also how I manage it as well, just making sure I have good childcare set up. And then also when he's home with me, I have to divide my time between work and him, but I make sure that both the work and my son are getting as much attention as possible. And then also just spending time, taking time out. We like to have weekends as family days,
Yeah,
Saturday and Sunday. So we take that time out to have our family time together. And
yeah,
even during the week, there may be days where we're not, because my husband is an entrepreneur as well, and he also works full time. So we're not like constantly like all day long working and not having family time. We may
yeah,
take a day and say, okay, tonight is just going to be family time.
yeah,
After we get off work, we're going to spend time together. And so, I would say the best way to manage it is, first of all, if faith, if you're faith based person, praying for direction, reading any tools or guides or resources, that you feel will help you get organized. And then
Yeah.
also tapping into your community. There is always someone there, a friend, family, coworker who could give you advice, because we're all doing this. There's a lot of women who are juggling,
Yeah.
and so and it's also good to have a partner in your life that's very supportive as well. And my husband is very supportive of my business, and I'm supportive of his. And again, having a calendar, staying organized. Life happens, things are
Yeah.
going to pivot, and you just got to be able to pivot with it. So that I would say too, you got to be able to go with the change.
Yes, that was great advice. You definitely need a community, even if it's
Yes.
family. I know some people say, well, I don't have family. I live in a state where it's just us. Reach
Mhm.
out to women communities, other entrepreneur communities like Mommies Teatime,
Yes.
where it's other moms who are trying to do or doing the same thing that you want to do. Because when you do it alone and you do it by yourself, you start to think that you're the only one that's going through what you're going through.
Mhm.
And you get sidetracked with social media because social media makes everything looks perfect, right?
Yes.
That no one is having real life issues. Everybody's family is perfect. Everybody's going out to beautiful restaurants and everyone is just looking pretty every day. And that's just not reality.
Mhm.
I don't always look like this every day.
No. And
Sometimes I take coaching calls and I don't show my face.
yeah, I get that. Yes.
It's
Yeah.
not perfect all the time,
It's
but
not.
you can do it ugly. You can do it messy.
Mhm.
Um as I always say, do it messy, because it's not always just like black
Mhm.
and white, cut and dry. Sherri gave great advice, the calendar thing, because I'm getting older and my mind just don't remember like that. So
I'm
my
there.
husband is the same way. He's like, "Did you put it on the calendar? Did you put it on the calendar?" Because we
Yeah.
both will let the day pass by. We
Mhm.
actually had one of our sons. They had a birthday party. We felt so bad because we did not put it on the calendar and we missed it,
Oh
and
no.
we felt so so bad because
Yeah.
you know how much people put into planning birthday parties and stuff. And I think this was like one of those paid parties that they had it somewhere,
Oh
and we felt
no.
so bad. So it is important to
It
use a
is. Yeah.
calendar. Even with coaching, like I have to put it on the calendar because I'll forget it, because you have
Mhm.
your family life, you have your business life or whatever. And yes,
Yes.
and you do forget and you do make mistakes, but don't beat yourself up. Like you said, life be life, and you
Yeah.
just pivot. You just I mean, if you don't get everything done in one day, it's okay. Tomorrow is a new day. And I've learned it the hard way because I used to stress, worry,
Mhm.
because
Right.
things wasn't like perfect.
Mhm.
So that was great advice. We talk about this all the
Yes.
time. And the listeners out there, if you hear that all the time when our guests come, they say community, they say calendar, they
Mhm.
say all the same thing. Put God first. You're not the only one.
Yeah.
I know this far. Mama C Time's been going on for 3 years now, and our guest has basically been saying the same thing. So you're not alone. You can do it. You can run your business and your family, and still live out your dreams. Will it be easy? No, but if
Mhm.
you have that great support system, like Sherri said,
Mhm.
it can be done. Um, the certified copywriting specialist, Sherri, what
Mhm.
advice do you have for women who want to improve how they share their brand or story through words?
I would say if they want to improve it, come to me. First of
Right?
all,
That's
the
right.
right one LLC.com.
Yes.
And I will definitely work with you and, sit down and consult with you and just hear what you have to share. Also want to say that, social media, that's a good way to start off. You don't have to be a social media guru to do it. You can, for instance, I would recommend, if you're professional woman, career uh focused, LinkedIn is your, I would say, your best bet to start off with. LinkedIn, because, and then LinkedIn has, I'm on LinkedIn as well, and LinkedIn can help you to have so many, everything's AI now, so AI can pretty much write your profile. AI can write up whatever you need to write up, to organize your profile and your presence on LinkedIn. And you just add profile pictures, a little background of yourself, and people want to connect. What I love about LinkedIn, people from all over the world are just ready and willing to connect. And I have reached out to people have reached out to me, and just give each other advice with no, you don't even need to pay each other. It was just, you can get a lot of free advice on LinkedIn. And because people are
Yeah.
willing to help, that's what I love about it. It's a community of helping each other. Great networking. Join networking groups. I'm a part of writing networking groups. I'm also part of, I'm a certified business analyst. I'm a part of analyst groups, HR groups. That helps as well. As you mentioned, Ramika, that's part of community. That's going to help you get your story out there.
Mhm.
Okay. Also, Facebook and Instagram. They're also good as storytelling. I definitely would say Instagram, really good for storytelling. Facebook, starting your own page. If you want to start your own page about whatever you want to share. I mean, you might be a mother who's really great at cooking, so you might want to have a page about the best mommy cook or something like that. Start a
Mhm.
Facebook page. That's a following. Build up to that. Invite your friends, family, anybody you know, and I think that's a great way to get your story out there. Another way is blogging, and you can schedule all these things as well. Scheduling, that'll also help back to time, managing everything, your personal life and your business life. You can manage all those things on social media. But blogging, I say blogging is really good too, because blogging doesn't take much to do. If you
Yeah.
want to, you can blog once a week, blog every day, and it's just your thoughts. It is a digital journal that you're
Yeah.
putting out there to let people know. And so that's also, and that can build into a book as well, blogging. So that's another form of how women can share their story.
Yes. Uh, some people are still against social media, but if
Mm-hmm.
you use social media and these platforms the right way, you can
Yes.
have access to so many people all over the world. And that's
Yes.
what I use social media for. One thing that Sherry did not mention, but
Mhm.
podcasting. Being a
Yes.
guest, getting on podcasts.
Mhm.
This show, believe it or not, it's viewed in over like 18, like it's so many countries that I could not even like reach,
Mhm.
just traveling. But just doing the podcast is just amazing.
Mhm.
How many people I'm reaching literally all over the world. Like
Yeah.
Let's Talk Motivation with Mommies Teatime is global. So you want to get on platforms like that to
Mhm.
get your business out there. Get whatever you want to talk about out there, because you never know who's listening. You
Yes, you do.
never know who's listening.
Mhm.
And even with the social media platforms and LinkedIn, like she said, it's so many people who are willing to connect and really just give the information
Mhm.
that you're looking for, because everyone is just trying to help get to whatever
Mhm.
they're trying to get to in life. Um, and yeah, social media, all the platforms are very important. Network events, you want
Mhm.
to get in the room.
Yes, you do.
And
You
this
do.
is my pause where I'm going to put in Mommy's Tea Time networking event.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah,
Coming up
yeah.
June 21st, you want
Mhm.
to get into network events like that. And this event brings mompreneurs like you, or moms who are looking to start a business. It brings you into one room. And these women, they network, they talk about what they do. You never know if there's someone in that room that you need. Like Sherry's going to be there. She's the Right One LLC. You might be writing your book. You go to this event. You talk to Sherry. You was like, "Oh gosh, I'm so glad that I came." You never know who's in a room, and
Mhm.
and who's there that have what you need to get to your purpose. So you want to get your tickets to Mommy's Tea Time Networking. This year it's a brunch. It's on the water, in front of the lake. It's going to be really, really nice. We
Mhm.
have four speakers, amazing speakers that's going to pour into you, that's going to transform your mindset, that's going to empower you, and they are going to, when you get ready to leave this event, you are going to be ignited and ready to affirm your dreams. So I'll come back to that later on the show.
Oh,
But
yes,
you want to get to events like that.
yes.
Get in the room because you never know what the outcome is, and always be ready
Mhm.
to talk about your business, because you
Mhm.
never know who you may be sitting next to, who you may be talking to. If you travel on public transportation, you never know who you're sitting next to. It's okay to say hello, how are you, good morning. You never know where that good morning conversation is going to lead to. So just always be willing to talk about your business, and word of mouth. I think that is the number one.
Yes, it is.
Um, yeah, the number one marketing tool is word of mouth. Sherri talked about before on this show. A lot of her clients came from word of mouth.
Mhm.
And because she has passion for her business, if she makes someone feel so good about, what they're doing, what they're writing, and their experience was top tier, they're going to tell the next person that
Mhm.
comes to them that's talking about writing their book. So yes, word of mouth, having a conversation, always be polite in speaking and talking, because you never know where that would lead. Now I done drug that one out.
That was
Drag that
good.
one out.
Yeah, yeah, but no,
But
that was great. I'm glad you mentioned podcasting. I'm getting my feet wet with podcasting. So this is a
because
great platform for me to start off on.
yes, because a lot of people think that it's flooded, like everyone's doing podcasts. Yes, a lot of people are doing podcasts, but it's still room for you to
It
get
is.
on that platform. It's still new, and I don't have the statistics, but like in the next couple of years, that platform, podcast platforms, is going to be like
It
the
is.
go-to, because you
Mhm.
can reach so many people at one time.
Yes,
Um,
that's so true.
ear Earlier in the show, we talked about your faith, right?
Hmm.
And how you put God first in everything that you do. Um, how has your faith played a role in how you serve your clients and build your business?
My faith has definitely played a role because it is my mission. I know this is what God is calling me to do. We all come in here with a purpose and a calling on our lives.
Yes.
And so I'm blessed to be, a part of, a church community with leaders that sowed into me, that prayed with me, and that, also being a part of connect groups that made me really realize what God wants me to do. I know it's the editing and it's the publishing and it's the writing, but how can I use that to really minister to people? And what I feel as though is that I'm serving. It's all about serving, right? And I'm serving others by helping them get their story out there, and then it's a domino effect, because then they're going to serve others by sharing their story, and it's going to keep going and keep going and going. And what we're supposed to do is to share the truth, and so
Yeah.
you're sharing what is needs to be told. And so I just love to do that. I love to um everybody's, whether you call it a testimony, a story, a message, whatever you want to call it, it needs to be out there, because it's not just going to help you, it's going to help someone else. Someone else needs to hear it. And it's also can be freeing too, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes I've had authors tell me that since I wrote this book, I feel free, because I got it off of me. I got it off my chest. So that's what I want to do. It's just ministry for me, because I want people to know that if you have it in you to write it, and you feel as though God is telling you to write it, and you just feel it in your mind and your spirit to do it, to just get it out there, because it has to be told. Your truth has to be told.
Sherri is speaking to me right now. She doesn't know. She doesn't know right now, but she's about to be my editor for my book that I've been trying to write
Mhm.
for the past almost 10 years, which is almost completed. The cover is completed, but I just need someone to look over it, bring it to life, my manuscript. She's hearing this now for the first
Okay. Oh, but I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I
so
can't
I'm leading by example. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to get the right one experience, and I'm going to
Mhm.
tell everyone because I I
Mhm.
wanted to find someone that I can trust with it. It's my memoir,
Mhm.
and I want someone that
Right.
I can really trust with it. Someone who's faith based, someone who has the passion for it, someone who's going to be real with me, not rushing through, like really, really get in there because I need this book. I know this book is going to bless so many people, right?
Mhm. It is.
And I just want it to
Mhm.
be, I just want it to go out the right way, because
Got it.
God has already spoken that this book is going to bless so many people. So I need to make sure it's the right way. So I definitely will be using the right one, LLC,
Mhm.
with
Okay.
Sherri
Well, thank
Lewis. Yes, yes, I'm
you.
excited. I'm excited about it. I just said that out loud for
Mhm.
the first time, and I think it was perfect to
Mhm.
say it on this platform, because having this community, I want to make sure that I'm connected with the right people so I can help our listeners, our community, get to their purpose. So I want to
Mhm.
have top tier people to work with, that can help you get to your dreams. So yes,
Mhm.
it starts with me. I want to say that.
Great.
Um,
And that's good. And when you say that, and I always say I'm waiting with open arms to help those out. And then I always tell my clients, as you said, trust. I do everything with confidentiality to, whether you're my mother. I did not put that out there by her book until it was time for it to go out. So family, friend, best friend, acquaintance, whoever you are entrusting me with this story that you needs to be told, and it would not be released publicly until it's actually going to be released publicly through publishing, not by me telling everybody about it. Because, and that's what I also like to do with editing, I like, I get a firsthand look at it, of the story, and a lot of the stories actually encourage me, and I tell authors that, thank you, because you actually helped me out with what you wrote about, and I'm going to keep it to myself until it's time for everybody else to find out about it.
yes, yes. So I mean, when I tell you that I'm really am excited for Sherry, I really am because she her story is kind of what we talk about a lot on this show, as moms,
Mhm.
and having that family life. Sometimes we put our business on hold, and a lot of times we'll beat ourselves up about that. But sometimes it's okay to take that pause and not forget about it.
Mhm.
Yes, definitely come back
Right.
to it, because if it's God's plan, He's not going to let you leave it sitting down anyway. So I'm excited for this
Mhm.
rebranding. I am so excited for this rebranding because I know it's going to like shoot up. Sherry already
Thank
have clients that's just ready. And all right, I'm not gonna talk about that. I'll get going.
you.
But I'm so excited for her rebrand. I really am. Um, we say let's talk motivation on this show, and we really
Mhm.
want our listeners to be motivated when they get off of this podcast. What advice would
Mhm.
you give to a woman who's sitting on her manuscript, unsure
Mhm.
if her words are good enough to publish?
Okay, I would tell her to let it go, because what you wrote, someone needs to get healed from it. They need to get healed. They need to get encouraged. They need to get educated. And if you're holding on to it, you're holding on to what someone else needs to hear in order for them to break free and do what they need to do in their life. Because we have to remember our destiny isn't just always for us, it's for others as well. So if your destiny is, I got to write this happened to me in my life, and I'm writing a story about what happened to me, and you're holding on to it, you're also keeping someone else from their destiny going forth as well, or delaying it, I should say. So, letting it go, letting it out there, and letting people hear what you have to say. I mean, that's why so many different genres, right,
Yes,
of books, because there's something for everybody out there to hear about. So if you're letting it go and releasing it, and that's your part of your destiny, and now it's becoming a part of somebody's destiny, and so on and so forth. So let it
yes,
go, and just let it flourish, and then let it bless somebody else's life.
yes, and get connected with the right one, LLC.
Yes.
So
Get
she can
connected
get
with it.
you.
And I hope
Yes,
you get it out there. Yes.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, absolutely. A takeaway. This was impactful episode. Um, what will be a takeaway um that our listeners can take from this episode?
A takeaway is that don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Writing is is kind of hard for people. It's stepping out of their comfort zone because they feel like, well, I've heard many authors say this, nobody wants to hear what I have to say. Yes, they do. Because if you've already started writing it on pen and paper, you started typing it on your laptop, or if it's just in your head or just in your heart, then that means it needs to be said. So the takeaway is, please write your story, let it be out there for people to read, because somebody needs to hear what you have to say. Trust me on that. Someone needs to hear what you have to say.
Yes, they do. I mean, these episodes help me too. Guys. I'm like the first one, like she said, when she edit her book, she get the stories and get everything and get inspired. And when I do these shows, I am empowered. I am inspired. Like I get so excited when I get off of these podcasts, because it gets me motivated, because I'm just like, wow, another one. It's just like it's so exciting. I guess you would have to be in those shoes to really feel what it is. But Sherri has some things that's coming up, and I want her to talk about it on here, um, and let you guys know what she have coming up.
Okay. All right. So yes, so having my very first workshop. It's an editing workshop called Your Stories, Your Words. And what it's about is basically the right one. It's just going to tell you the basics of editing, what we can do for you to help polish your words and get your book, your story, whatever it may be, published and out there to the masses. So it's going to be interactive. I know when people hear the word editing, they're like, that sounds too exciting. But I'm going to make it exciting. I am.
Mhm.
And you're going to have fun. You're going to learn so much about editing. And then after that, I do have an announcement to make during that workshop. So you definitely want to make sure that you're going to be there. It's June 7th. It's free and it's virtual. So you can watch it from anywhere. Watch it from anywhere. It's at 11 a.m. and you can register at Eventbrite. Your stories, your word. As of this morning, there's still 5 spots left. So you might, not might, you should grab those spots as soon as possible because they're going fast. And I just really have some really great announcements, some great advice to share with everybody, and just also ways that you can connect with my business and how I can really serve you and make sure that your stories and your words are out there and are brought to life for everyone to read.
Yes. So you want to get connected with Sherri. Sherri, tell us where they can find you on social media. and how they can connect with you.
Okay. Well, I'm on Facebook as Sherri Lewis. I'm also on Instagram. The right one _ is _ Sherri. I'll say it again. The right one, WRITEONE _ is _ Sherri. And then you can email me the right one, the letter one, LLC at gmail.com. So WRITE1 LLC at gmail.com. And I do have a website. So if you want to check out, find out more information about my business. And also I have a section on the website called the Right One Collection. Once your book is published, and I've edited and helped you publish it, you'll be a part of the Right One Collective, right? So that's another community to be a part of. So please check that out on my website. My website is the right one LLC.com.
Yes, see, I'm so excited. I got my ticket. Um, I'll be probably in and out
Yeah.
on the workshop because I'm actually launching a book with an author, and it's 18 co-authors, and I'm a part of um the letter the letter to the little girl. And this is basically us
Oh,
writing letters to our younger selves. So I'll be on the
oh, nice.
workshop, in and out on there. But I got my spot, and I would definitely be tuned in because I'm excited to pass over my manuscript to
Mhm.
Sherri. And I hope someone out there is listening. And I hope someone out there that is listening who is ready, has been motivated, who's been ignited, and just ready to just start writing, or they have their manuscript and they just want to work with Sherri because something she may have said just may have just resonated with you. Um,
Mhm.
Sherri, this was rich. This was a rich conversation. Thank you
Oh,
for pouring into us with so much grace and insight.
mm,
Um, Again, for those who are ready to publish with purpose, make sure you visit Sherri's website at www.the-right-one, that's the number one, LLC.com, and follow her, and so she can help you along the way with your journey. Ladies,
yes.
also remember, I am
Mhm.
transforming because you know we can't leave here without doing an affirmation. So get your teacups up, get your coffee cups up, whatever, and say, I am transforming. I am empowered. I am affirming all my dreams because I am the T. Have a great day. Until next time, keep brewing purpose and don't forget to sip slow and speak life. Have a good day. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.